me and God can put together. So, God in me. All right. Happy Sunday. And I'd like to start with recognizing those who brought pictures of their father figures, and who would like to come up and tell who is, I know Dave 80. Dave, you had a picture? No? Larry, that's who it was. Larry brought a picture of his dad. Yes, come on, come on. Okay, and who's?
Yeah, Luther Howard Strain. He was a proud World War II veteran and an accountant. And what he loved most was building things. He taught himself to be a carpenter and a plumber and an electrician. And gratefully, I got a lot of that stuff from him. So I love my dad.
Thank you, Melody. And who else's pictures here? Don. Okay. Great.
So this is Herman Brilliant, and he was a first-generation American. His father came from Kiev, which then was in Russia, and he was a pharmacist and a kind of a self-made man. He and Mom grew up in Philadelphia and married during the Second World War, and he retired as a pharmacist. And when he was 80-something years old, he worked as a long time. And I look like him. It always looks like Mother had nothing to do with it.
Hold that too, I'm not sure. He was a baker his entire life. And this is a picture taken at my mother's house in about 1935, I think. I entered this in the fair in Deming, and it got first place.
Way to go. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. And my father was Eugene Joseph Martin, and he was born in Boston. His mother died in childbirth, and his father died when he was 5, and he was raised by his aunt. And as soon as he could, he joined the military. When he was in Germany, he was serving as an MP, and he met my mother. She was a teletype operator for 7th Army headquarters. And he worked the gate, and the German workers had to put in their little ID card when they went, and then when they came home, pull their things so they could get off base. And he wanted to go out with her, and she wouldn't give him the time of day. And so he took it upon himself to use his authority. And one day she was getting ready to go home, and they couldn't find her ID card. And so they had to call Staff Sergeant Martin over and say, this woman wants to get off base and we can't find her ID card. So they worked out some little kind of deal, and here I am. Oh, yes, Larry. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
This, we can't see him. I have to pass it around. This is my foster father, my stepdad, Rudy E. Espinosa from El Paso, Texas. And he worked at White Sands Missile Range. He was the #1 welder, welded missiles. And when he wanted to retire, they wouldn't let him retire because he was the #1 welder there. And they wanted him to teach others how to weld just like him. and my sister, my stepsister. And my dad was the only one that wouldn't spank me. He'd I remember taking the car for a ride around the block. The tire came out. Neighbor came and helped me put the tire back on. My dad came. They told him, and he said, "If you don't want your mom to find out, because my mom would spank me," she said, "wash the car." And I did. So I love him and I miss him. He was at the age of 98, he passed away. This was at 88. Love you, Pops. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Yes, Dave.
I don't have a picture of my kid, but that's, I forgot to bring one, and I don't really have a wonderful picture like yours, Melody. My dad was wonderful, and that's why I want to come up and do this. He was born in 1920. He was a World War II veteran. And then after that, he married my mother, and he didn't have college education, but he worked very hard. When I was a kid, I remember him going and studying to become an accountant. And then he passed his CPA exam, and he worked in that profession until he retired many years later. And so my mother had the privilege of being a homemaker, and we had a very stable home life. And so thank you, Dad, for all of what you did. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else have a dad story? All right. Thank you, all the dads. The unsung heroes many times. I always remember there was a friend, it was in a movie or something, I think it was, and these dads going, you know, you coach your kids at football and that, and they get to be big, and famous. They go on TV and they say, "Love you, Mom." So working in this Dare to Believe with May Rowland, and the chapter this week is Give It a Light Touch. This is a poem that's really the introduction to the next paragraph, next chapter. However, I really like it. So, I am a part of all that is good. In moments rare, there comes to me a vision unexpected. I clearly see within my soul the universe reflected. I am a part of all that's good. I feel I know no limit. The God in all stands forth so clear, no fancied ills can dim it. No matter what life's future hours may hold of earth-born sadness, I know there comes to me in truth a heritage of gladness that far transcends all grosser things. I've caught the vision glorious. We are a part of all that's good, and good shall be victorious. Anna Dershel. So I want to use my book, so I'm going to have my hands free. So dare to believe and give it the light touch. Many of us, yes, as we concentrate on the good, we are giving that which is not good the light touch. The light touch is the touch of light. That is, we light the light of truth. we let the light of truth shine into the situation or circumstance to reveal the good and to clarify our thought in relation to it. Prayer enables us to do this. In practicing the art of prayer, we learn to let go the things that bother us. We learn to turn them over to the intelligence of divine mind to solve. Prayer strengthens us so that we can let go a perplexing situation. After all, our success lies not so much in how we handle the situation, but in how we handle ourselves. So we have a situation, we're going through an experience, there are some bumps in the road, or maybe a big pothole. And we need some help. We try to get out by ourselves, and we're inward thinking. And we think this is how it should be. And it's not working out well. Then we move into prayer. Go into prayer. Into the silence. Getting that guidance. And a solution comes. Many times it doesn't look like what we had envisioned. So what if we consider eliminating the struggle at the beginning and going into prayer straight off? That'd save a lot of time. I'm no efficiency expert, but I do know that I don't enjoy losing sleep over a situation or spending time trying to find the answer and being frustrated when it doesn't come to pass. Bless you. Right? Yeah. As we practice our prayer life, we recognize and become more aware of how more streamlined it is to move right into prayer. And I really enjoy myself when someone comes to me and says, oh, well, this, that, the other thing, and maybe something small. And I'll go, well, can we put you on the prayer list? And they're always grateful. So, I'm many times during the week sending texts to our prayer chaplains, please add so-and-so to the prayer list. Please add so-and-so to the prayer list. Please add so-and-so to the prayer list. Could be a car, could be a dog, could be a person, could be a family, could be a situation. Please add the people of Los Angeles to the prayer list. Please add the people in the Mideast to the prayer list. Please add our governmental bodies to the prayer list. And let us take a moment and hold in our hearts all the people in Minnesota. We send them love and energy and light to help them have peace of mind regarding that situation, to help step away from fear, know the truth, look for the good. They are surrounded by love, compassion, understanding, and light. Amen. These are things that go on every day in all parts of the world. Things we have no idea about, even with all of the technology and the ways that we can be together. And as we work on giving it a light touch, we are able to handle each situation that arises easily, smoothly, and harmoniously with the light touch. When we learn to control and direct our thinking about each situation, Our strength emerges from our way of thought. Your energy goes where your thoughts go, our thoughts, words, and actions. We talk about this. And where we put our thoughts, that's where our energy goes. So instead of thinking lower energy thoughts, think higher energy thoughts. There is light in every situation. We must believe that and know that and see it, because God is everywhere present in every situation, and God is good all the time. Let us make our thinking positive and cultivate the habit of putting our full attention on the good. Let us remember what Paul said. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honorable, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, think on these things. We can turn from a negative thought to a positive thought as easily as we go from one room to another. And I can speak from experience and say it takes a lot of work to stay angry, to stay in fear, to stay in unhappiness. It takes work because that is not our true nature. Our true nature is good and happiness and joy and love. And we use a lot of energy doing the opposite. If we allow ourselves to operate from the space of our Christ consciousness and our Christness, we are operating from a place of love and joy and good. Isn't that feel better? Doesn't that feel better to you to operate from that place of light? That place of goodness, of joy, of happiness? We're not weighed down. We expect the good outcome. Our expectations are for joy and happiness. And it is so important at this time to remember that. I understand it is not easy to feel positive some days. I understand that. And it is difficult to lift myself up and look for something positive about some of these situations, when I would much rather say, I don't understand why that's happening. That shouldn't be happening. And why don't they just do this? And I've got good ideas. Do you guys have good ideas about all this stuff? Right? Yay, right? We've got good ideas. And nobody asked me. Nobody's calling me on the phone. Jennifer, what do you think we should do about this? I don't understand why. I think I've got great ideas. We've all got really, really good ideas. So since they're not listening to us, asking us, soliciting our ideas, we'll just put them out into the universe, what they are, because we know it's all one, right? That wonderful energy is up there. It doesn't require a phone call because it comes from God and it goes out to God and everyone. So let us keep those good thoughts and those good ideas and put them out there. They will come into play. Someone will snatch one down and say, hey, I remember in one of my classes years ago, one of my science of my classes, one of the practitioners said, it's like a path of a river of ideas and goodness going through us all the time, going through our consciousness. And we pick up things that are interesting to us, right? So you have a good idea and you don't do anything about it, it goes by. And somebody else, I mean, have you had that experience where you thought of a really good idea, like Post-it notes or something, and somebody else took advantage of it and really brought it into production and gave it to the world? And you're like, I had that idea. Well, you didn't do anything with it, so they did. These things go around because they all come from God for everyone. And what we choose to do with the ones that interest us is our goodness. And we may pass on several others. So remember that energy that you have for creating good, those ideas, it's all good. And if you can't get somebody on the phone or they're not paying attention to your letters and your emails, just put it out there into the universe and it will get to where it needs to go. That helps you know you have some power because you're putting those thoughts out there. You're putting that goodness out there into the universe for everyone to take advantage of. It's that light touch. If you're undergoing a hard experience and things seem to press in on you and you do not know which way to turn, use this prayer, she writes. The clear, unclouded mind of Jesus Christ dominates my thinking, my feeling, and my act. The clear, unclouded mind of Jesus Christ dominates my thinking, my feeling, and my acting. Concentrate on this truth instead of concentrating on the negation, on negativity. We'll close with the end paragraph. Even as we learn to give the light touch to the things that concern us, we can also learn to give them the touch of light. We do this by thinking of the light of Christ as shining into every dark corner of our thinking. We do this by letting the light of Christ reveal the solution to problems, the answers to questions, and the fulfillment of our every need. Thank you. It's a really good book. Happiness cards. Will you help me, Kay? Stretch as tall as you can. That feels good. Have you been having fun with your cards? Do you pick one for Tanya too? Okay. You can if you want. Okay. Uh-huh. Stretch. What did you get? All right. Thank you. All right. Let's settle in. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Releasing the thoughts of the morning. Settling into this sacred moment. Today we honor our fathers. Those who have supported us, taught us, loved us. We also honor the Divine Father, the presence of God in, through, and around all things. This present is not distant. It's as close as your next breath. Feel it now. The indwelling love of God, steady, unshakable, always present. Let us take a moment in silence to simply rest in that love, the love of God flowing through you now. You are surrounded by divine love, held in the arms of Spirit, guided by the wisdom of God the Father. God's strength rises in you when you are weary. God's wisdom whispers to you when you are unsure. And God's love lives in you, a well of love that never runs dry. Let us open more fully to that love within. Feel it in your heart, in your breath, in every cell of your being. You are not alone. You are not lacking. You are loved deeply and eternally. And in that truth we affirm, God's love lives in me. It strengthens me. It guides me. It is who I am. Take one more deep centering breath. And as you return to this space, carry the quiet joy of knowing the love of God the Father is with you always. ready, open your eyes. Our special music this morning, Doug Adamz.
Well, when everybody started, I'm changing what I thought I was going to do. When everybody started telling about their fathers, I thought, well, I could tell you a little bit about my dad, Verdon R. Adamz. And this is not a story about him. This is a story that he told. He liked to tell stories. Mainly stories about his life and about his childhood, which is, when you're a little kid, it's impossible to imagine your parent as a child. And he would tell these stories, and I just thought they were like fables or stories you'd read in a book. But as he got older, he started repeating these stories more often. And this happened at a bad time because he started getting more repetitive with his stories right at a time in my life when I already knew everything. So that didn't work out so well. But then he got older yet and started repeating the stories even more frequently. But I had reached an age by then where I started realizing that I wasn't going to be hearing these stories forever. And so I started paying very close attention to them, trying to memorize them. And so this is one of those stories from my father. It took place on the farm where he grew up in Hydra, Oklahoma. And the year, hard to believe, was about 1912 when this happened. He says, one of Papa's brothers came from Kentucky to visit us. Mama said that Uncle Johnny had a glass eye. She said it was a little bit unusual, but we should be very careful about looking at it. We shouldn't stare at it or mention it to him or even say anything about it when he was in the room. Well, Mom and Papa went down to pick up Uncle Johnny at the Rock Island Depot when us kids were still in school. And Mama was right. His eyes were funny. One of them would move and look around, and the other one would always stare straight ahead. The next morning, he slept late because he'd stayed up talking to Mama and Papa about their relatives back in Kentucky. But I had to get up early to go feed the calves. And they were really pretty, and I thought he should come see them. And I knew they'd be going down to the shade at the other end of the pasture as soon as the sun came up. So I went into the front room where Uncle Johnny was sleeping. He was awake, but he just had one eye open. He says, "Is breakfast ready, Verdon?" I told him that it wasn't, but I said he ought to come take a look at these calves. Well, he hesitated for a moment, then he says, "Well, why don't you take my eye down and show the calves to it?" He picks up a glass of water that was sitting on a table by the bed, and it was half full of water, and his eye was in it. And he held it out to me. Well, it was a little scary, but I took it, and I walked very carefully out the front door and down the steps and out to the calf pen where I kind of wiggled it and jiggled it and showed all the calves to the eye so it could see all of them. Until my very favorite one at the end, a little white calf with brown shoulders, my favorite. And then I took the eye back into the house and handed the glass to Uncle Johnny. And he turned away from me and he put the eye back in his head. Well, looky here. I sure want to thank you, little nephew. Those calves are just great. In fact, that little white one with the brown shoulders is just about the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. Well, I could not be convinced that his eye hadn't seen those calves. Not until some years later when Mama told me that Dad had showed Uncle Johnny all the livestock before us kids got home from school. Well, old Gan Tucker was a mighty man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, died with a toothache in his heel. Get out of the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to stay for supper. Supper's over, breakfast cooking, old Dan Tucker standing looking.